Bryan, pleasure speaking to you again. Just want to start with checking how your summer break was.
It was really good. Thank you for asking. I enjoy with my family, my friends, and I've been refreshing mentally and physically.
Yeah, and a really exciting summer for you. New club now and all. What was the moment like when you found out that the move was secured?
Yeah, I was actually really happy. Because I always wanted to come here. So when I finally get the chance and all was green, I was really happy.
Who was the first person that you told about it, and what did they say?
Of course, my family, my mom. She was really happy for me.
Then, when you eventually linked up with the team, how was the welcome to Manchester United?
Yeah, it was great. Everyone made me feel home from the first day. They've been really nice, and then now we're ready to work.
Who gave you the warmest welcome?
No one. I think the whole team did. So there's not one person in particular.
There was a bit of the summer break spent in the USA for the summer series. Your first few outings for Manchester United, how was that experience for you?
Yeah, it was really good to play in front of the fans. Being representing the jersey was a top moment for me.
And since winning the summer series, the team has been back at Carrington, a brand new Carrington. What do you make of the new facilities?
Yeah, they're actually really good. I think we couldn't dream a better place to work every day. You have everything you need here, so I think this is just top conditions to work.
Just a bit more about the club itself. By the club's own admission, they were not where they wanted to be last season, but they're still attracting big signings, including yourself. So what is it that attracts a player to Manchester United?
Of course, the prestige of the club, obviously, and even the challenge, because we know obviously Manchester wants to be at the highest positions in the league and competing for the Europe. So I think it's a challenge that players like to have in their career.
And you've now linked up with your Cameroon teammate Andre Onana also. How much did he talk about the club? What did he say about the club when you were on international duty together?
To be honest, not a lot when we were in national teams, because obviously we were not teammates at this point. So he couldn't speak too much, but obviously now he's helping me a lot. Give me a lot of advices, and I think it's really nice for me to have someone like him.
Yeah, I get that sense from him, because we spoke to Ahmad and Andre at the same time last season, and he gives that kind of a big brother vibe. Is that how it is with Andre? Yeah,
of course. And now we know each other for 3 years now, spending time with the national team, so it gets obviously easier to come across and talk to each other. So I think it's been really important for me.
And what about Ruben Amorim? How has the preseason been under a new manager for you?
Yeah, it's quite exciting as well. A new manager, new challenge. I think I'm really happy to be there and try to give my best for the club.
It's not like he hasn't been, or it hasn't been the case for him, but it looks like the manager really means business now. Have things been as intense as they look?
Oh yeah, the training are really intense. He wants us to run a lot, to do big efforts, and I think it can only help us to be ready on the pitch. So I think I quite like it.
We've heard Ruben also say recently that he would like to spend 20 years at Manchester United if he can. So what is it about Ruben Amorim that makes him the right guy to take Manchester United back to that level that the club feels it needs to be?
This is a question I can't really answer, but obviously he wants to do the things well. He's really determined, and obviously he brings a lot of energy, and he gives us the joy every day. So it's really easy to work under him.
And for yourself, you had an excellent season last season. There was a reason Manchester United wanted you. What are your expectations going into this season?
Of course, I never put the limits on what I want to achieve in my life.
You know,
you think you'll get
which are the holes in our squad and where we want to plug the holes, and then what are the possibilities out there? And Omar, Dan, Jason, who are the sort of key pillars of the sports side. They're not all in place. We've only got Jason in place, so you know we're sort of a bit handicapped in that sense. So I think we'll do a fairly good job, but it's not going to answer all the problems this first season. It will take 2 or 3 summer windows to, and that's the focus, is keep it the best. And it's got the most income in the world. So, you know, for the UK, we get the best players coming to the UK, we get the best coaches coming to the UK, we get the best football in the UK. I mean, it's very different to French football. We obviously own Nice down here. You know, Premiership, everybody in the world follows the Premiership. Everybody in the world knows who the middle clubs are in the Premiership, don't they? Everybody knows a bit about Fulham and Everton, and not just the top 6. But in France, that's not the case. In Italy, it's not the case. You know, people don't know about the small clubs, or, you know, the medium-sized clubs in France. So the Premiership is a real jewel. I feel comfortable that there's no interference of any. I mean, why would you ever interfere? I don't listen to sell Nice because I quite like the concept of the multi-club. And I think Nice would be very complementary to Manchester United for 2 reasons, really. One, you can blood younger players in Nice than you can in Manchester United, because Manchester United sits at a higher level, so it's quite tough to bring an 18 or a 19-year-old. I mean, occasionally you get a Kobe Mainoo, but it's quite difficult to blood those younger players. But in Nice you could do that, and that would be a benefit to Nice, of course. And secondly, in the UK, because of Brexit, it's quite difficult now to contract the younger, you know, generational talents in Europe. But Nice could do that. So we could bring, you know, if there's a fantastic 15-year-old in France, we can sign him up to Nice and use Nice as a conduit to Manchester United later on. There used to be, I believe, as explained to me, there used to be a sort of coalition of the 6 major clubs who would have a certain level of influence in the Premiership, but that broke down after the Super Club, you know, the European Super Club initiative, and I think they need to be careful that the top 6 clubs are not disadvantaged because they don't sort of get a reasonably strong say in that committee. Because at the end of the day, it's those top 6 or 7 clubs that drive the Premiership. That's what the world's interested in. You know, it's an area of historical significance in the sense that that's where the Industrial Revolution began and settled at the beginning in the sort of late 1700s, and that really is a sort of fundamental change in the way humans have existed, because before manufacturing it was a fairly, you know, we had a fairly rural existence, and the reason Old Trafford was built where it was built was because the workers, when they left their factories, they could walk to the ground. There's no public transport, you know. So Old Trafford is in the middle of where the Industrial Revolution began, and it's all part of the sector. Manchester United is 150 years old in 2028. It's an old club. It's one of the oldest clubs in the world. But I mean, that area today is fairly run down. So it's an area of historical significance, and in the centre of it, it's got the Manchester United football ground. Everybody in the world knows of Manchester, isn't it? Everybody knows Well, I'm not sure I know why, but it's a fact. If you go to Africa, go to Asia, you go anywhere in Asia or around the world, they all are familiar with. But a regeneration project needs to have a sort of otherwise you're just building housing estates. If you look at Barcelona, 5 million people a year come to the museum at Barcelona Football Club, you know. So you would have an economic nucleus because Manchester United is the biggest football club in the world. Millions of people come every year to look around the facilities, and you would build museums and fan zones and all that type of stuff. If you look at Wembley now, if you look at the new Wembley, which Norman Foster built in London, and you look at the surrounding area, it's full of new developments, you know, which have come in because of that. So, yeah, it would involve public money, it would involve our money, and it would involve private money because you'd need people to come in, and maybe you'd build, you know, a new part of the university, you'd new health and well-being, you'd build a museum, you'd build the ground, you'd build all the hotels and housing facilities and transportation systems and all that type of thing. So it'd be quite a large...
Harry Maguire admits it would be silly to leave Man United now after they rejected approaches from 5 clubs, as he opens up on his future. Harry Maguire feels it would be silly to leave Man United now and has spoken about the club rebuffing approaches for him. As Mike Keegan previously exclusively revealed for Daily Mail Sport, United shut down interest in the centre-back from clubs in the Premier League and Italy. Maguire has now told BBC Sport, last year, the clause was in their hands. There was no option for me there. There was no talking. It was just they activated it and it got extended. I'm pretty sure the club made it clear this summer that I can't leave on any terms. A couple of clubs inquired and I think they got a quick response. Maguire went on, I'm sure over the next few months, we'll have to have a conversation about where we want to go, and if they want to extend. Obviously, I have something in my mind about what I want to do and where I want to be. I don't want to put it out there to everybody, but it's an amazing club to play for, and you'd be silly if you wanted to jump out of it as soon as you could. Since I started 6 years ago to now, it's in a completely different place in terms of the structure behind the management staff. We're in a good place. A lot better place. As Mike Keegan previously reported, a number of interested parties at home and abroad have been told the likelihood is that the England defender is likely to extend his contract and spend the rest of his career at Old Trafford. Whether that happens remains to be seen, however. 3 top-flight sides and 2 from Italy explored a move for Maguire this summer and were turned away. The 32-year-old sees his current £190,000 a week deal expire at the end of the forthcoming season. Maguire's desire is to emulate the likes of Dennis Irwin, Gary Pallister, Steve Bruce and Brian Robson, who are all fondly regarded as key United mainstays by the club's support. Regardless, the man with 64 England caps is unlikely to be short of options.